On Sunday, CNN's State of the Union with host Jake Tapper decided to bring on White House policy advisor Stephen Miller to basically defend Donald Trump, both from the mounting claims that Donald Trump is mentally unstable, as well as from all of the claims made against the Trump administration in Michael Wolff's new book, Fire and Fury. It didn't take long for that interview to go completely off the rails as Stephen Miller refused to actually answer any of Jake Tapper's questions. Take a look at just a little bit of the exchange between the two men here.
The rest of the political class didn't see. All these so-called political geniuses in Washington, whether it be at the big lobbying firms or
the only person who's called himself a
in
genius
Congress,
in the last week is the president. But
which happens to be a true statement.
Okay.
A self-made billionaire who revolutionized reality TV and who has changed the course of our politics.
He's watching and he's happy that you said that. But
you know, Jake, you can be condescending.
I'm not being condescending. I'm trying to get to the point that Steve Bannon.
You can be condescending. That was a snide remark. You're sure he's watching and he's happy. Let me tell you something.
Why is that
your
snide?
network? You can be as condescending as you want. It's part of your MO. But listen, you can have 24/7.
I have no idea why you're attacking me.
Well, I'll explain to you.
My point is,
I'll tell you why I'm attacking you.
Steve Bannon,
Jake, you can have a 24/7.
Helped push the president's travel ban.
He helped. That's why I want to talk about the president's experiences, what I've seen with him traveling to meet dozens of foreign leaders, with his incredible work.
Okay, you're not answering the questions.
No,
I understand.
You have 24 hours a day of anti-Trump material, and you're not going to give 3 minutes for the American people to hear the real experience of Donald Trump.
There's one viewer that you care about right now, and you're being obsequious. You're being a factotum in order to please him. Okay.
No.
And I think I've wasted enough of my viewers' time.
You know who I care
Stephen.
about?
As Republicans,
Hey, Jake,
lawmakers call for Attorney General Jeff
about?
Sessions to resign.
You can find the full interview in the description below the video. I encourage everyone to watch it because it's just as crazy as what happened there. See, Stephen Miller only wanted to talk about the history, basically give us an unauthorized biography of Donald Trump, and as Jake Tapper correctly pointed out, it was to appease Donald Trump, who he knew would be watching. But what's even funnier about this entire clip is that after the camera stopped rolling is when things got even more insane. According to CNN staffers who were present at this interview during the taping, they said that Stephen Miller refused to leave the set and eventually had to be escorted out of there by security because Stephen Miller, I guess, felt that he wasn't done telling us how great Donald Trump truly is as President of the United States. Now, this is a story here that's been reported by multiple outlets. The people who were present there confirmed, at least according to them, they've confirmed that yes, he was removed by security. So probably unlikely that Stephen Miller is going to be invited back onto Jake Tapper's program. Another interesting point that I feel needs to be pointed out about Stephen Miller is that this is a guy with very clear ties to the white nationalist movement here in the United States. Known white nationalist Richard Spencer had said at one point that he was actually a mentor to Stephen Miller in college. Miller has been on record saying horrible things about Muslims, about immigrants, about Mexicans, basically any group of non-white people. Stephen Miller's the kind of guy who's going to be the first in line to tell you why they're horrible and destroying the United States of America. But this little exchange between Miller and Jake Tapper shows just how insane the Trump administration truly is. It's not just Donald Trump, it's everybody that this psycho surrounds himself with. And if you're trying to convince the public that you really are mentally stable, probably not a good idea to send out a guy like Stephen Miller to convince the public of that. At this point, you'd be better off sending Kellyanne Conway back on the airwaves, so at least they think that she's the only crazy person in the administration. But if you keep parading out more of these people like Miller, and that we finally get a clearer picture of just how many crazies you've surrounded yourself with, it's not going to take long for even more people in this country to think that you're surrounding yourself with crazy people because you yourself probably a little bit nuts. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see here on Ring of Fire, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. You can see the little subscribe button down there, but if you're watching it on another device where you can't see it, go to youtube.com/TheRingOfFire, hit subscribe, be notified every time we get a new video.